Namaskar. Welcome to our channel Bio by Gulab Sir. As a series of lectures, today's topic is menstruation. It is the process of, or it is a cyclic monthly discharge of broken endometrial wall along with debris, that is ruptured blood vessels and blood cells through vaginal tract is known as menstruation. So it is a monthly cyclic discharge or blood ooze out, monthly cyclic discharge, cyclic discharge of broken endometrial wall. As we learn what is endometrium, it is the innermost layer of uterine and vaginal tract. Broken endometrial wall along with ruptured blood vessels and blood through vaginal tract is known as menstruation. It is a cyclic. It takes 28 to 29 days to complete the cycle. It has two main phases after menstruation, that is proliferative phase, also called as follicular phase, and luteal phase, also known as secretory phase. It occur in primate such as human being, monkey and ape, that they have this monthly cycle. Otherwise, rest of the other mammals, they have estrous or polyestrous cycle. Now, this cycle occur in three main phases. This cycle occur in three subphases or main phases. What that phase are? A is a menstruation, B is a proliferative phase, also known as follicular phase, and third is secretory phase or luteal phase. Now see, this is a menstruation cycle which shown here, that initially for first to 5 or first to 7 days, it depends, 5 to 7 days, there is a discharge of broken endometrial wall along with ruptured blood vessels and blood. For 7 days is known as menstruation. Followed by menstruation from 5th or 7 days to till 14 days is a follicular phase, because these follicular cell along with or around the developing Graafian follicle are granulosa cells. Under the stimulus of follicle stimulating hormone, they secrete estrogen, and that estrogen, increase in the concentration of estrogen, restore the wall once again. That is, proliferative cell division enable this wall to once again have the same thickness which was on the first day. That period of restoring the wall up to 7 days is called follicular phase, since follicle secrete estrogen. Proliferative phase because cell division, one produce 2 cells, 2 cells produce 4 cells, so such a fast cell division to restore the wall within a 7 to 8 days. Therefore, it is called proliferative phase. On 14th day onward till 28-29 is a luteal phase, since luteinizing hormone is at the peak on 14th day to have the breaking of developed Graphian follicle to release the ovum called ovulation and form the corpus luteum, which continue to produce progesterone after 14 days. So since this phase begins with the breaking of Graphian follicle with the action of luteinizing hormone is called as luteal phase, as well as it is called as secretory phase because follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, progesterone and estrogen are continue to be maintained in the blood of the female to have the maintenance of this wall. Therefore, this is also called secretory phase. Now, let us understand how this changes regarding endometrial wall with hormonal control within the ovary as well as in the uterus. To have understanding, this is a cycle given that this period 1 to 7 days is called menstruation, 8 to 11 days that is called fertile, where 8 to 11 days that is called restoring period, where that wall get restored. So 12 to 17 that period is called ovulatory or ovulation phase, where fertilization may occur, and after 17 days that once again wall continue to maintain if fertilization occur, and if fertilization does not occur, wall begin to break open after 28 days. Now, to have the best understanding, let us understand these three phases one after the other. Here, see, suppose we shall divide this 28 days from first day to 5 to 7 days, 14th day and 28 days. This is up to 28 days. Now, this bleeding occur in the initial days. See, suppose this is the thickness of the endometrial wall. This break and it is continue to break up 5 to 7 days. This period of breaking of wall is called menstruation. This period is called menstruation, during which that rupture blood vessels and blood ooze out from through vaginal tract. Now, after 7 days, when that developing Graphian follicle begin to secrete estrogen hormone under the stimulus of follicle stimulating hormone on very first day itself. That secretion of estrogen under the influence of follicle stimulation hormone is begin. Estrogen begin to act on the cells of this wall once again to have the restoring of that wall up to 14th day. So here, by the time this wall get restored, once again this wall get restored up to 14th day. This is called as, this phase is known as, this phase from 7 day to 14th day is called follicular phase, is known as follicular phase or proliferative phase. Proliferative phase. Why it is called as proliferation phase or proliferative phase? Because that the cells of this wall divide and redivide into 2, divide into 4, 4 divide into 8, 16, and that is what like nuclear proliferation reaction, that 1, 2, 4, 8 like this. And it is so fast to have the restoration of that wall within a 7 days so as to prepare uterine wall for anticipated pregnancy. Now, this is on 14th day that here wall is completely restored. By the time what changes happen inside the ovary, that this primary follicle become secondary follicle, where these granulosa cells which surround this primary oocyte arrested in prophase stage has one more layer of granulosa cells around it called secondary follicle. Now, this is a secondary follicle. Now, this is a phase of development of this Graphian follicle. Therefore, it is called developing Graphian follicle. Now, up to 14th day, this secondary follicle becomes tertiary follicle by developing that antrum as well as developed Graphian follicle with antrum. So here this is a primary oocyte with these granulosa cells around it called cumulus oporus. So here these are the granulosa cells around it, and by the time it also developed a zona pellucida around it. Zona pellucida around it. As well as seen here, it has antrum, that is fluid filled cavity around it. So here this is a area, this is antrum, is a fluid filled cavity surrounded by two layers of, this is tunica interna, this is tunica interna, and this another one is tunica externa. This is up to 14th day. This is developed Graafian follicle. Now is ready to break and release the ovum under the influence of luteinizing hormone to break this developed Graafian follicle. To release the ovum, this is ovum arrested in metaphase stage. Before that, first polar body is produced and secondary oocyte arrested in metaphase stage is ready to release off. So to show it correct way, that is what first meiotic division is completed. First meiotic division is completed, and here this is what secondary oocyte arrested in metaphase stage and first polar body is released off. So as to show that first polar body, this is a first polar body after meiosis 1, after meiosis 1 release in ovary itself, and this is the release of that secondary oocyte in metaphase stage. Secondary oocyte in metaphase stage. Here this is a secondary oocyte arrested in metaphase stage with zona pellucida around it. This is a zona pellucida and that cells of corona radiata. These are the cells of corona radiata. Now in this condition it released on 14th day. These corona radiata cells are held together by hyaluronic acid. Now in this condition that ovum is released and get enter into the fallopian tube, which wait for fertilization so as to have second meiosis continue to divide and form the second polar body and real ovum, that is called oocyte. So this is what happened up to 14th day. Now when luteinizing hormone breaks this developed Graafian follicle, what is this? This is a developed Graafian follicle is ready to break open and release the ovum hormone, luteinizing hormone, and therefore this is called luteal phase, also known as secretory phase, because during this phase all the hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen and progesterone, because the rest of the part of this form the corpus luteum. So what is corpus luteum? Here when this ovum is released, rest of the part form this structure, that was structure called corpus luteum. So this is continue to be here. So this can be shown here. This rest of the structure is corpus luteum which produce from it. So this corpus luteum continue to produce, this is a corpus luteum that continue to produce hormone called progesterone. Now see, this progesterone hormone is initially at the low level, but on 14th day onward its concentration increases. And see this another, that is what estrogen begin to increase right from first day, and it is also continue to be remain at high level. See these changes what we are observing are clearly shown in this diagram. This progesterone increase suddenly on 14th day onward because corpus luteum is formed which produces this hormone, and estrogen hormone begin to increase from first day itself. Since follicular cells begin to produce this estrogen, now all these hormones, progesterone, estrogen, luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone all are present during this period from 15 to or 14 to 20th day. Therefore, this is also called secretory phase. Now, when these things are going on in ovary and this cycle in uterine wall, this wall is completely ready to have the anticipated pregnancy if fertilization occur, and if fertilization does not occur, then corpus luteum get degenerated and production of progesterone, that once again menstruation begins. As see here, this progesterone also, concentration of progesterone also falls down, concentration of estrogen also fall down, and what, that luteinizing hormone which is supposed to be, this level is just down, and follicle stimulating hormone also supposed to be less down. But on 14th day, you just find out here, there is a more rapid secretion of luteinizing hormone that get at the peak of the 14th day. On 14th day, having high concentration is called luteal surge, and that result in the breaking of this developed Graafian follicle to release the ovum and form the corpus luteum, as I have mentioned in this diagram, that this day, 14th day, is a luteal surge. Luteal surge. Please remember this word. Question can be asked in NEET as well as in board also. What is luteal surge? So here, if that pregnancy occur, that means fertilization occur, implantation of that zygote on endometrial wall. To maintain that endometrial wall, this progesterone hormone is needed to be continue to secrete. Therefore, corpus luteum will continue to be present in the ovary to have the continuous production of progesterone and maintain the endometrial wall till that parturition occur. So menstruation cycle will not occur if pregnancy occur. That means wall will remain continue to maintain for 9 months till that baby developed and take birth, and even after birth for 6 months, that is called lactational amenorrhea. So menstruation will not occur. So after every pregnancy and birth, parturition for 9 plus 6 months, that is 15 months, that menstruation do not occur. It gets suspended. That is the point. Please remember that menstruation do not occur for 15 to 16 months when there is a pregnancy and parturition. So in female reproductive life, if it begin on 15th year and remain up to 45 years, that is for 30 years. Out of that 365 days, that ovum, if 2 babies or 1 baby take birth, so for 16 months, and if 2 baby, then for 30 months, menstruation will not occur. So that period will be a gestation plus lactational amenorrhea period during which menstruation do not occur. So once again, what is menstruation? That is what, breaking of endometrial wall and oozing of that debris. That is what cyclic monthly discharge of broken endometrial wall along with ruptured blood vessel and blood is called menstruation, is clearly mentioned here. It lasts for 5 to 7 days, and after 5 to 7 days, once again that wall begin to develop under the influence of estrogen so as to restore that wall if pregnancy occur. Therefore, this phase is known as proliferative phase or follicular phase. Now wall is ready and developing Graafian follicle become developed. So luteinizing hormone break that developed Graafian follicle to release the ovum is known as ovulation. So ovulation occur on 14th day. Now this ovum that is arrested in secondary metaphase stage is ready to receive the sperm, continue to have that second meiosis, produce second polar body and oocyte to have the fertilization from the zygote. By the time corpus luteum begin to produce the progesterone, so level of the progesterone hormone also increase. So during that phase, after 14th day, this progesterone and estrogen are continue to be present and secrete, and therefore this phase is also known as secretory phase. And this phase is began with the breaking of developed Graafian follicle with the action of luteinizing hormone. Therefore, this phase is also known as luteal phase. So this phase is continue from 14 day to 28 days. Now, if pregnancy occur, this wall will be maintained for 9 plus 6, that is 15 months, and if it is not occur, on 28 days, suddenly concentration of progesterone and estrogen, because corpus luteum will degenerated by the time if pregnancy do not occur. So if this corpus luteum is degenerated, production of progesterone stop, it falls down and estrogen concentration also falls down. Therefore, wall will not be maintained and that immediately wall begin to break and release through vaginal tract, that is known as menstruation, means another menstruation cycle begin. So first menstruation to second menstruation, that 1 to 28 days are required to complete one menstruation cycle. I hope you did understand this cycle completely with this diagram, that what changes happen within the ovary, changes happen in the endometrial wall, and this is what shown is a cyclic arrangement of the days. For how many days what happened, first to 7 days menstruation, 8 to 17 days is also called as a fertile period, during which that ovum is ready to receive the sperm and fertilize, and also called as 8 to 14 days is a proliferative phase or follicular phase where wall is developed. 28 days is called secretory phase. Luteal phase they have divided into 18 to 25 days, and then 26 to 28 days, that is pre-menstruation phase, and 18 to 28 days is a luteal or secretory phase, what they have shown in this cycle, that you can refer on NEET. But I hope you did understand what I did explain, that what is menstruation cycle, as it occur in human, monkey and ape, these are the primate. It occur in 3 steps. That is what I did explain to you through this diagram. I hope you did understand this completely, what is menstruation cycle with total hormonal control, and changes happen within ovary on in endometrial wall. Even if you are in doubt, you can ask in comment section. I appeal you to subscribe and like our channel, as well as press bell icon to receive new videos as and when they are uploaded. Thank you.